This is Irontrader. It is hump day, which means it is crude day. Now, the API report for crude will be out today at 4:30, and then the EIA report will be on Thursday at 11 o'clock for crude and at 10:30 for natural gas. Now, today it's all going to be about NVIDIA. The earnings are coming out after the close, same way with Salesforce, but I think NVIDIA is going to be the key. Okay, so we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at crude oil, natural gas, at gold and silver, and then we'll take a look here at the old Nasdaq, which is pretty flat, down about 17, no big deal. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell any stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have the old Bitcoin. Now you can see here we had a really nice good run up here, and we're still holding this key 8 SMA here very, very nicely. Now you can see yesterday came all the way down here, held the 8-day, and today what we have so far is what they call just an inside day. Your high and low is the inside of the previous day's high and low, so that's how we got to see if that's going to hold the rest of the day. Okay, so this is what we're watching on the downside is this 107,977. That's going to be very, very crucial, okay? So it needs to hold that on a closing basis, but you got to respect it because look how nice this has been holding the whole time, okay? So now if that is lost here, what we'll do is we'll come to here to the bottom of this candle here, looking at 106,340 level, okay? We come over here to the top of this candle, you're looking at 104,990. We come down to the bottom, looking at 104,435. And then we can come down here, we're looking at 103,525. And then here's the big catch-all right here, is 102,810. So usually if this 8-day is lost here, the 21-day will be the old catch-all, okay? So it should be able to hold that support level if that 8-day is lost here, okay? Now, maybe I think what we have here, I shouldn't say maybe, I think we just have this sideways consolidation, okay? So we had this nice inverse head and shoulders pattern off a nice double bottom, and then we consolidated, and I think we're going to be consolidated here again, okay? That would be really good just to relieve some of this RSI here, okay? See how this blue, how the green turned blue, we got to this overbought condition, and now she looks like she's just trying to come off just a little bit here. That's really what you need. Now, this also shows very, very good strength. This is like I'm going to show you here in the past here. See how this had very, very good strength here. But what we had here, we had this negative divergence where we made this high, then we made that higher high, but we made a lower high here, okay? See that negative divergence. Now, Bitcoin has had a really, really good run here. Okay, so just always take that into consideration. A little consolidation or even a pullback is nothing to be no big alarm kind of a situation. Okay, so on the upside here, what we're watching is when we're watching the top of this candle here, you're looking at the 110, 175 level. That's going to be key. Then we'll come here to yesterday's high. You're looking at 110, 980. Level, and then we'll come up top of that candle. You're looking at 112.60, and then your big retest up here is 112.345. So basically, you're trading between that 112.345 and this 8-day at 107.977 level. Okay, so we're just trading this range until she's either going to break down and hit that 21-day, or she breaks up. Now, if we crack that 112.345, obviously your first target is going to be that 113 level. But realistically, I think this can definitely go to that 115 to possibly 116 area, but I'd be really strong at the 115 level here. Okay, so we got to see how this all going to shake out. But right now, we just have some sideways consolidation here. So don't get too excited. It's not going to run up. Now, over the weekend, I believe they had a big Bitcoin to do there out in Vegas, and everybody was talking about. So we had a really good run up. But I think eventually this is going to, it's going to crack, and I think we're going to go much, much higher. Now, the RSI here, we got to let this, because when you get to these overbought conditions, we want to have this come down a little bit and just kind of do a little bit of a consolidation before we have a nice run up higher, okay? So you always want to buy it down, level down here versus up here. But again, it's a good trader. Now, I trade the IBIT for the long, and if we crack above this level and close above that 112.345, then I'll put the leverage fund on there at BITX. That's a 2 times leverage. Now, IBIT is a really good, I should say, is my favorite trade for the long side here. Now, right now, I don't really have any interest in going short unless we start losing this 8-day. Then we can take a short here, but right now I just think just scalping on a long side is what the trade is. Now 8-day really nice here, 21-day rolling all the way up here, and now look at your 50-day. Looking across that 100-day, 200-day sweeping up here. Very, very bullish chart. Okay, take a look here at crude oil and natural gas. Okay, here we have crude oil, here we have natural gas. Now you can see here natural gas, contract roll, we jumped right back up here again, okay, here. So don't get too excited about this because everything else will stay the same, okay. So we look at UNG here is actually isn't doing anything, but this is just a contract roll like we had here. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, crude oil, we got the API report here at 4:30 today. So it'd be a lot of just packed information here going on here on the markets. Now, OPEC looks like they're going to come out here. They're going to have a meeting on May 31st. And I believe that what they're going to do is they're going to dump another 411 million or 411,000 shares per day on the market here again. They've done that now for 2 months. So let's see if they can continue. They're trying to get relief, all the volunteer cuts. So we got to see how that all shakes out. So I don't know, when you start dumping more oil on the market, price isn't really going to go up high. Okay. So what we're trading here basically is here is 8-day on the top, 61.59, and this 21-day here on the bottom at 60.67. Okay, you can see we're just stuck right in the middle. Now, even though it came down lower, you notice it closed above the 21-day, closed above the 21-day. Okay, so upside, we're looking at 61.59 level. That's going to be very, very crucial. Your next level here is going to be 62.14. Okay, then we'll come up top of this candle here. You're looking at 62.77, 62.7, and then we'll come up here at 62.91. But this is going to be your target. It's going to be that 50-day at 63.27. Okay, then we'll come here to this price channel, which is 64.19, basically just the top of that candle. And then we have right there at that 64.87 level. Okay, but right now nothing has really changed here from yesterday. Okay, now downside here, we're looking at this 67 level, very key. If not, next support is going to be 60.02, and then we'll come down here to this 59.87, 59.89 level. Sorry about that. Okay, so what we have, we're just trading this box. Okay, so if you look at the top of this candle here at that 64.87, that'd be the top of this channel. Okay, so we're basically trading there, and to the bottom here at 59.89. So we're basically trading this box here. Okay, you can just see here, that's all we're really trading. Okay, so very, very small trades, okay, going on here. There just isn't really a whole lot. There was a good short there yesterday, but there just isn't anything here that's going to be the big wow kind of a factor. Now, if we lose that 59.89, then when we come to the bottom there, you're looking at 58.76. Then we'll come down here, you're looking at 57.74, 57.03, 56.39, and then we have your retest at 55.30 level. But upside here, this 50-day is going to be everything. Okay, so if we can crack above that, then we can go to the next level, and then we can go to the next level. But right now, we're just trading this box right here. Okay, so we got to have now any kind of a disruption, like a war goes on or something shuts down or this or that, then yes, crude oil can rally, just like we had here. The rumor came out that Israel was going to bomb Iran, and look at it, spiked right on up here, and then she just pulled right back down. Okay, but right now they're just really in a whole lot. So basically, what you want to watch is that 61.60 on the upside, and we want to watch that 60.67 on the downside. That's pretty much it. We lose that, we're looking at the bottom of that candle at 59.89. That's going to be our nice big support level. Upside, we crack that, you go into that 50-day. Okay, now we're sitting here pretty much in the center. That could go either way, not overbought or oversold. Same way with the MACD. Your green is over your red, but it's just a sideways kind of an action situation. So let's just see how this all going to shake out. Okay, now when you look at the big picture here, okay, you can see a possible left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Now this isn't a true head because it isn't the lowest point. Okay, but again, you have that whole scenario here. So again, if this happened to rally here, that 200-day would definitely be the target then, because we would just flip this over from the bottom to the midline, and then we would just crack there up to that 200-day. But right now, we just have a sideways, kind of like a, watching paint dry action. Okay, now here we had natural gas. Well, we had the contract roll, and you can see how she gapped up. Hate them gaps up. Just hate that. Okay, we have a gap up here that's never been filled. So basically what we're looking for on the downside here, we're just watching this 370. That's your 100-day. We're watching that 50-day at 3.56, and then we're watching that 3.47 level, and then we have the old 8-day at sitting there at 3.36. Now, I pointed out this bull flag situation, okay? So we had the pole, and then we had that the flag going on, and then we can see how we held that 200-day, going on up here, and now we just jumped right on up here. So let's just see how this all shakes out. But if you're trading the ETFs like UNG or KOLD, nothing's really going to change. Okay, so just remember that. That's only like on the futures kind of a situation. So on the upside here, say it keeps right on rolling, we're looking at that 384 level. That's what's good. That's going to be the key. Okay, and basically the next level after that you're going to look at is 393. Then we just work yourself up here. You got 408. We have 415, we have 420, and then here's the big boy at that 425 level, if she keeps right on running up. Now, I don't like this, so I will not be looking for no trades here today. I wait for this all to settle down. Now, RSI here is moving up here, 57, but it's kind of like a false reaction. The same way with here to cross over the green. So let's just see how this all shakes out. Give it a couple days here to play out. Okay, take a look here at gold and silver. Okay, here we have gold, here we have silver. Now you can see here on the old gold, we still have this declining situation going on. See, we have a high, and a lower highs, okay? But we're sitting here holding this 21-day very, very nicely. So far today we have this inside day. We hit a high at 33.52. Yesterday we hit a high at 33.56. So we're basically here to inside day, but we've got this good sideways action. Now, look at your 8-day, trying to cross over your 21-day. That's going to become very, very big time support. So you want to watch that 32.94. That's your 8-day and your 21-day. Now, if that is lost here, then we can come here to the top of this candle right here. You're looking at 32.52 level on there, and then we're looking right here at 32.24. Okay, that's going to be very, very key. Now, again, if that's lost here, we come out here to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 31.70, and then we come down here 31.56, and then 31.23 level is your big retest. Okay, but respect this 50-day. Look at that. See how many times that has held? Very, very nicely. Okay, but now we have this nice sideways action, but we have this. It's downtrending here. However, if it cracks up here, this is your upside. 33.66, that's what you're looking for on the upside, okay? And then we're going to be looking here, okay, at 33.84, and then we're going to be looking at 33.96. And then we start coming up into all the big time, 34.22, and then we're looking here at this retest at 34.48. Now, you crack that, obviously, 35.09. You go 35.09, you're going to go 35.50. And it'll probably go there pretty quick too once we get rolling. Now I use gold almost like a fear factor. If there's some kind of uncertainty, if there's some kind of fear in the markets, and gold kind of rallies. That's how I trade it. Now that might be right, that might be wrong, but that's just how I kind of look for that whole situation, because you can see how the nice rally was. We had that everybody was getting all excited. Oh, we got a new president. He's going to do this, going to do that, and we had this big time run up here. But now it's kind of like holding off here. So we got to see how this is all going to shake out. Okay. Now, RSI here, we are looking here very, very good. You're only looking at 55. Your green looks like it wants to cross the red, and I really believe that this is gonna go higher. But right now we got a sideways consolidation. As long as we hold that 21-day and that 8-day, okay, we have sideways to up action. Okay, we start losing that, then we have sideways to down action kind of situation. Now we look at here at silver. Now silver is this ain't doing dick. You know what I'm saying? Now the 8-day is rising up here a little bit. You got 33.18, but you have that 50-day, 100-day. So look at that 33 mark. That's really what your key support level is. If that's lost, we got to respect this 100-day at 32.56, because how many times has this held? Okay, which basically means that it comes down, it might hold again. Okay, I mean, when you have all this proof right here behind you, chances are it's going to hold again. If it doesn't, then we have your 200-day at 31.77. Now upside, we're looking at that price now, 33.91, which is basically just the top of this candle. Okay. Now, if we get above all that there, then what we're going to be looking at is you come up here. Okay. We can follow the candles up here. You got 34.36 level. Okay. We come up here. We have 34.59. We have 34.68, 34.86, and then we come up here 35 level. Okay. Then we can come up here. We have 35.40, and then we have your 35.49 breakout. Now, if you can crack above this, you're going to head to the 40 level, but it'll be turtle-like. This is like a creeper. It isn't like what gold has been doing. It just basically, it'll just creep right on up there, okay? But right now, we got to watch basically a hair. This is it, 33.91. You got to get above that in order for it to go higher. RSI, looking good, okay? Sitting at flat, right here, flat, because basically we just have this total chop level. Now, easy way to trade this, SLV. Easy way to trade gold, GLD. Okay, let's take a look here at the old NQ Nasdaq future. Okay, here we have the old Nasdaq. Now, we've had a pretty good run here, okay? Really, really good run. Now, I want to just show you here, see how this is negative divergence going on here. See where we made this high, okay? And we made a higher high, okay? We made a high here, but we made a lower high even though we made a higher high here, okay? Negative divergence. So this is what I'm watching out here now here going forward, okay? So We made this where that green turned blue. That shows a little bit of overbought condition, and now we're just kind of a hanging sideways. Okay, so what we have is just this consolidation. We have consolidation. Now I think everything is going to be realistically is going to be on Nvidia. Okay, it's not only about how the earnings are, but it's going to be under guidance. It's going to be what they say on the conference call. So you got to be real pay attention. That's going to be after the hours today. That's going to be very, very key. Okay, so right now, bottom line here, we want to hold this 8-day. Okay, that's 21,322. Now, if that is lost here, we can come right down here at the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 21.72. We come down here. We have 21.40. We go down to yesterday's low at 29.54, and then we're going to start running into your 21-day at 27.24. Now you can see how the 8 days crossed everything. Your 21-day is now crossed everything, looking very good. Now, if we lose that 27.24 level, then right here, that 24.99 level, and then we have that 200-day sitting at 24.56. Okay, so they got really, really good, a lot of good support going on right here. But this 8-day is everything, but this is just sideways consolidation. I think what they want to know is Nvidia, okay, and the AI trade and all this. And I really think now, remember, they're going to take a $4.9 billion charge. However, all the stuff that they've been putting together here with Saudi Arabia and everything that's going on here, this is not going to stay down here for long with the old Nvidia. Okay, so always be a little patient. But we'll go over those charts here at midday trading, because Nvidia is going to be very, very important here for the market. Okay, so what we're watching on the upside is going to be this 21,562. That is going to be absolute key today. You have to get above all this resistance, then we can go higher. So just watch that 21,562 level. That's going to be very, very critical. Okay. Now, again, we can get above all that here. You have 21,652, and then we come up here. You got 813. Then we can follow the candles up here. You got 21,951. We'll come down there. You got 22,118. We have 22,245, and then we have a nice big retest there at 22,319, and then here's your big boy, okay? But right now we have sideways consolidation. So you look at all these future charts here, whether it's the Nasdaq, the Dow, the S&P, they're all pretty much the same, okay? But right now we want to have this consolidation, but I think everything's going to be about Nvidia today, okay? So above that, 21,562, we're going to watch that, and then we're going to watch that 8-day at 21,323. Okay, so Nvidia, how I'm trading it here is I'm long, and what I'm going to do is I also trade this daily, but I'll be selling half the position today, and then I'll be waiting, and I'll be holding the other half position after hours and see what the movement is. Okay, if it rallies up, I might sell the other half or sell a quarter of that, and we'll see how this all shakes out and see what the reaction is. Remember, it's not going to be the news; it's going to be the reaction to that news. That's going to be key. So Nvidia, very, very important today. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here midday trading. We'll take a look at some stocks. And remember, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.